Welcome to Annuity News Now. One surprising thing that people find sometimes when they meet with a retirement planner is that they have been paying taxes on money they aren't even spending. My guest is David Templeton with Adage Financial Consultants in Little Rock, Arkansas. David, it's a pleasure. Welcome back.
Thanks, Scott. It's great to be back.
So what do you mean when you say that people are paying taxes on money they aren't using?
Well, when we do an initial interview with a new client, we try to gather all the information we can. We ask them to bring in all the financial documents they have, and once we compile all that, we find that a lot of times people have their money in safe, secure investments, and they're getting very, very low interest rates on them. Mm-hmm. However, they're not spending any of their money; they're saving their money. But at the end of the year, because their money's put into something like maybe a CD or a low-yield bond fund or something of that nature, they're getting taxed on the dividends or the interest that the CD's earning, even though it's not earning that much these days. And they're having to pay income taxes that year on the interest or dividend income that they're receiving on money they're simply not spending, and they're kind of surprised to know that.
And so what are some of the solutions here? Because when you're talking about low-yield bond funds, you're talking about CDs and interest rates that are incredibly low right now. It sounds like that's a difficult problem for people.
It is. It stems from the fact that people just really don't know where to put their money, and they're scared to lose any of their principal. Most of the people that I've seen, I'll ask them, before we even talk about if they've ever lost money in the market back when they had their 401k or when they had their IRA. I don't ask them if they lost any money. I ask them how much did they lose, because everybody's lost. Mm-hmm. And so now they're just sitting on the safest thing they can possibly find, and the solution is to find something that they can maybe move that money into that's a tax-deferred investment so that they don't pay any income taxes until they actually want to spend their money.
Mm-hmm. And so you're talking about things, for example, like a Roth IRA or some annuity products, right?
Right, depending on their age and depending on their eligibility and their income. One of the things we found with a recent client was the husband was retired, and he was on Social Security, and he had a little small part-time job, and the wife was still working for a couple of years. And we looked at the income that they were getting off of their yield on the small bond fund yield and their interest rate on their CDs, and that actually triggered income taxes on their Social Security. And they were surprised to learn that by simply shifting that money from a taxable investment to a tax-deferred investment, as you said, a Roth IRA or an annuity or anything that's tax-deferred, it would eliminate not only paying taxes on the money they're not spending, but reduce them from having to pay taxes on their Social Security.
And that's something that a lot of people don't think about in closing here, is that the effect that can have on Social Security, because a lot of people are sort of surprised too when they think about Social Security, why they're being taxed on that.
Well, unfortunately, that's the way the law has changed, and
right.
A lot of people there's a lot of talk out there that maybe one day all the Social Security will be taxable, but under the current tax law, there's certain limitations of how much money, earned income you can make before
right.
part or all of your Social Security becomes taxable.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's a great pleasure speaking with you, and we appreciate you sharing your expertise with us, David. Thank you.
Sure, Scott, anytime.
My guest has been David Templeton with Adage Financial Consultants in Little Rock, Arkansas, and you're watching Annuity News Now.